Hello, my name's Mark Wells and I'm here today to talk again about the FES Flower Essences. And the theme today is healthy boundaries, especially in relationships, but in general. But I think, it's not about creating boundaries where you can't interact or just blocking people off. It's about having healthy boundaries and healthy exchange, and ones that are mutually beneficial for people. So the first thing I want to look at is a flourish formula, and it's called Fearless. It has a really good combination. You might think, well, how does the Fearless go with the boundaries? Well, Fearless is about giving people strength, it's self-assurance, belief in themselves. It has a calming influence, obviously, if it's about fear. And helping people to have the courage to address things that need to be addressed. It's a self-assuring type formula. Some of the things in it, it's got red clover, which is for fears, but also fears in crowds, fears in groups, but also fears in relationships, getting caught up in the atmosphere. And for example, if you're in a bit of a heated discussion, not being thrown by that, being able to maintain your composure in those things. So that's one of the ingredients. Another ingredient is Oregon grape, and that's just, to put it probably a little bit harshly, social paranoia. But it's more about expecting sometimes the worst from people. So it's helping you to be more positive. Go into discussions with people, and particularly in relationships if things need to be addressed, not expecting the worst, not necessarily expecting that you're going to get a barrage back or whatever. It's just helping you to remain calm and deliberate and say what you need to say without the fear of the repercussions. And that's not going in blindly, and that's not going carelessly, but it's just saying don't add to it, or don't anticipate, or almost make it a self-fulfilling prophecy that this is going to turn into an argument or just helping you to keep those boundaries and be calm and deliberate. So they're really good. Mimulus, of course, is another one, another bark flower that I should mention that's in there, and that's once again for niggling fears. But how I see it helps with relationships is that it's the fear of your own reaction. And, sometimes when things come up, when you've let things go and you say, well, I have to address this. And of course you address it and everything comes up from the last 10 times you didn't address it. So Mimulus can just help you. Don't be fearful of those emotions. Just help you to take a deep breath, hold your frustration, anger, whatever in one hand, and just then deliver it. And Mimulus is known as sometimes given to people who are timid and all that, but it can be, but I think it's just more fear of your own response in certain circumstances. So they're just 3 remedies in that Fearless formula, which I think are just wonderful for fear and anxiety, all of those things. But as I say, the theme today is around boundaries in relationships. It's going to help too. It's going to help you keep grounded in any discussions you have in your relationships. And I want to quickly talk about 3 others that are once again great for boundaries. Mountain Pennyroyal is an FES Flower Essences, which is really good when there's a lot of negativity around you. So it could be a relationship at work, someone that's near you, and there's a lot of negativity, morale's down, you're being affected by the negativity in that person. Mountain Pennyroyal protects you from that. It allows you to interact, to say what you need to say, to keep your boundaries, not take in all that negativity that's you're being confronted by, and just state your case. So it's good in that, but also particularly in a relationship, a family relationship, whatever. If there's a lot of negativity around, Mountain Pennyroyal helps you not absorb all that. It helps protect you from being affected by that and thrown by it when you're trying to speak your piece, say your truth, etc. Another one that I've spoken about many times, but it really is such a good essence, and that's Pink Yarrow. And that is specifically for emotional boundaries. And so you don't take on the other person's feelings. It's often really murky. It'll be very murky in family situations. Partners, husband, wife, whatever. It will help you, this is my stuff, this is your stuff, and let's come from that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how I feel about this, and I'll hear what you feel about this. But not taking responsibility for the other, not taking on the other. Pink Yarrow helps you have those boundaries. And for children too, relationships with parents. And being able to acknowledge this is how I feel and have those healthy boundaries, and that's what's going on for you. Another one that you might think, well, how does that come into it? Calendula. It's interesting, calendula as a herb is a wonderful skin remedy. Moisturizer, all those things, but it's also to heal wounds and things like that. And if you take that up a notch into sort of a vibrational area, Calendula Flower Essence is for those too. It's for thin skins, people that are easily offended. So you can imagine how important that is when you're having discussions, when you are going to bring up some things that could be potentially emotionally uncomfortable or hurtful. Calendula helps you get a sense, take the warmth from where it's coming, not jump and get offended so easily, particularly when there's other things that have happened before that you will have got offended by. It just helps you not be affected by that, but it also helps you to share what you want to share in the right intent, warmly, and so you won't get a sensitive reaction from the person that you're talking to. So in that sense, it helps recreate boundaries, perhaps ones that have become scarred, ones that between people that have, these things have been hurt, you've both been hurt. It can help heal some of those wounds, so you can, start again a bit and have these interactions. So you can imagine how good calendula would be, for example, if couples are having counselling, going to couple counselling, things like that. And one of those things is, well, even for the Pink Yarrow, obviously, but one of the things you need to say, that's what you feel, that's what they feel, and to be able to work with that, and not sort of press on each other's wounds and hot points, or do it in a sensitive, warm way, and so you can convey the good intent that you have. So the Flourish formula gives you the strength, the self-assurance, to be proactive in keeping good boundaries and creating good boundaries. And those last three boundaries, Mountain Pennyroyal, Pink Yarrow and Calendula, are wonderful to help heal boundaries, heal people, but also maintain healthy, mutually beneficial boundaries with people. Thank you very much.